It's Madden NFL 23, where we'll see which conference reigns supreme tonight. It's the Philadelphia Eagles and the Houston Texans under the lights on Thursday night.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Tonight, on this fine Thursday night, we've got a good one in store between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Houston Texans. And hi again, everybody. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, when you and I were going through our final run-throughs at breakfast, we kept thinking tonight we're going to get to see a couple of very good passing offenses.
And we're talking about both sides having multiple receivers that can have an impact on this game. It's not just one guy that's going to make all the plays. If you take him away, maybe number 2, number 3, they make the big plays that impact who wins the game.
Houston. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. The 40. 20. He will take this all the way. Touchdown, Eagles. On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. He's got it, and the Eagles lead at 7-zip. So how about that for an intriguing start? The opening kickoff of the ball game, return for a touchdown. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And we will not see an attempt to match that return touchdown as this will be a touchback and bring it out to the 25. As the Texans offense runs out, we get a peek at the man under center. Second-year quarterback Davis Mills out of Stanford.
And remember, when he came out of college, he left early. So a lot of people weren't really paying attention to this young man. But he's entrusted with a leadership role early in his NFL career and didn't shy away from it. His goal? Continue to prove that there should have been one more quarterback that went in the first round of the 2021 draft.
Now the rookie fourth-round pick. This is Dameon Pierce. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Mills to throw it. Out, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Fletcher Cox busting through to get him for a loss of 6. But just 2 plays in, and Charles already their first sack defensively.
Yeah, how about that? That didn't take long, did it? And now they look at 3rd down, and that's another time to try and go and get the quarterback too.
So now after the sack, Mills and the Texans needing to navigate a 3rd and long. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete.
That was the first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
On 4th down, out is the punter, Cameron Johnston, to boot it away. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Now, for the first time, we get to see this Philadelphia offense led out by their dual-threat quarterback, now in his third season, Jalen Hurts.
Tremendous production in college at 2 different universities, and this is a guy who was a finalist for the Heisman Trophy. Still much more of a runner than a thrower, but has plenty of arm and is capable of making the big throws downfield. And don't underestimate his ability to think the game. Remember, he's the son of a coach.
The Eagles in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
The Eagles and Texans, polar opposites last year in terms of running the football. The Eagles were number 1 in the league. The Texans, 32nd, dead last. And in fact, the Eagles ran for nearly twice as many yards as the Texans did in 2021.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Well, how about the challenge we're seeing here in this game early? Man coverage against some fleet receivers. That time, the defense won.
He'll hit Watkins on the crossing route. The 20. Touchdown, Philadelphia.
Quez Watkins.
A touchdown on a kick return, and now one through the air.
And the Eagles go up by 2 touchdowns.
Well, you've got to like that start on both sides of the football. You force the 3 and out, and then you score on your first drive.
Well, I know someone who doesn't like that start.
Well, yeah, the other side.
Yeah, they don't like that at all, right? This is not the way it's supposed to be. But what you just described, that's team football, all right? When you get a 3 and out, you're supposed to take advantage of it on the offensive side of the ball. You said, thank you very much for getting us the rock. Let's put it in the end zone, and they did exactly that.
Elliott good with a PAT, and that'll make the score 14-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback. So now we get set to see Houston for their 2nd drive of the ball game. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10.
A 1st down throw for Mills. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
I know coaches talk all the time how a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
He's going to look deep down the field. It's caught inside the 25.
And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Ready for the 2nd quarter from Houston. It's the Texans in possession of the football.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Now Mills.
That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
That could have been a huge play, but give the defender credit. Stayed calm, stayed collected, and kept himself in a position to make a play on the ball without a penalty.
On the jet sweep, here comes Moore. He will push his way down to about the 14. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes. The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd down.
To throw, Mills.
And this is going to be intercepted. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And the Eagles are going to take over at their own 11-yard line.
And that felt like a little extra pressure on that third down attempt, and their mistake cost them points because they're inside the red zone. So you know you've got at least a field goal waiting for you. And in this case, they end up with nothing.
So back onto the field here come the Eagles for their second drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Texans are going to take possession of the football. Such a costly interception, nearly a pick six, but now they're so close they are knocking on the door for a touchdown.
And I never want to get on any team for being aggressive because that's part of what their makeup is, and oftentimes it's successful. But in this case, you've got to be selective about it and make sure you take care of the football. That interception almost cost them 6 points. Now their defense has to run onto the field, probably giving the quarterback a few side eyes along the way. They've got to see if they can stop a score.
Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. 2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. Pierce will take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up, meaning when you get on a guy, you just stay right there. Each guy has his own assignment. That allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
Fairbairn on for the extra point. And that one makes it 14-7. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. And out now come the Eagles. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. Hurts. Looking for Sanders here on the deep ball. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
The offense schemed going 5 wide, trying to create a chance for the big shot, and they took it. If he comes down with that one, that's a huge offensive swing. But credit the defense with a nice play, knocking that one away.
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And he'll go down, but not inside the 30. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
They got to walk that walk, baby. Let's be perfect. Make plays, y'all. Make plays.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts.
This is complete to Watkins on the slant.
And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Buying time to his left. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down. After the incomplete pass here now is 2nd and 10.
Throwing is Hurts.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Eagles.
Jalen Hurts finding A.J. Brown.
And they are able to add on to their advantage.
Well executed there offensively. Defense looked a little confused, but he found his receiver, and that one good for 6 points.
And the payoff we just saw there tells us how many times they ran this play in practice over the past few weeks, because they executed that flawlessly right here on game day when the situation arose.
Elliott good on the extra point, and it's now 21-7. So the drive there took 6 plays.
And it's capped off by an A.J. Brown touchdown.
Jake Elliott kicking off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25.
Now comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here.
Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
Mills throw taken in there by Cooks.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Mills throw taken in by Collins. He's got room at the 30.
Yeah, he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
Well, so far, little to no resistance by the defense on this drive alone. 3 passes, 3 completions, 3 first downs. They're taking it to him, and it's paying off.
Again, it's Mills.
And this one is incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
Mills hit, and he loses the ball.
But I think a Texan player was able to get his hands on it, and they will indeed hold on to the ball and the possession.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down. Mills now.
That's complete to his running back, Burkhead.
And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. The kick by Fairbairn is good, but now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about.
Roughing the kicker. Defense.
So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, BG, thanks very much. And welcome one and all to our beautiful new downtown Orlando studios for this EA Sports halftime report. First things first, let's get a check on the next-gen stats from that first half for Philadelphia. And their offense has been in top form so far, especially their passing game, as it's helped push them out to this big halftime lead. Meanwhile, for the Texans, they too didn't throw the ball as well as they would have liked. And I think both teams would say there's room for improvement in the second half.
Elliott now to kick this one away. And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback. For the Texans getting ready to go here to begin the third quarter. Well, the first half, they struggled a little bit to keep pace offensively, CD, down 2 scores here. So how do they make some changes coming out of the locker room?
Well, they've studied what they did in the first half. They've seen what the defense has thrown at them. Now they want to have a plan of attack against it. So you come out, you're not going to get all the points back on one drive, but get started on it. Start chopping into that lead, and maybe it'll inspire your defense to help out as well.
Off the play fake, Mills. And he finds Howard complete. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Mills. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Brought down by multiple defenders, and it's a loss of 12.
I'd say it's not panic time yet, but let's be honest about it. Empty possession here, not what you're looking for when you're down a couple of scores.
Absolutely not. Trying to start the second half off on the right foot. Unfortunately, going to give the ball up. Here's Cameron Johnston now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Let's take it inside his own 40. It's a return of 4 following a 42-yard punt. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 43. He'll start with a handoff to Sanders. And he'll be taken down at about the 45. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Second down, back to Sanders. Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Hurts. Steps away to his left. And incomplete on the deep ball.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
They'll start on the ground with Pierce.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. The defensive line made pretty easy work of the offensive line that time.
And people get tired of the cliche that the battle is won in the trenches. But it's a cliche because it's true. And how about the battle right there? One on the edge, and the ball carrier did not benefit.
Well, thanks for joining us here on a Thursday night in the NFL. 3rd quarter, 2nd and 10 coming up.
The first carry down for Rex Burkhead. Good strength, but not able to get a whole lot. Tackled shy of the 10. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Houston. It's Texans football, but they trail here as we get started in the 4th quarter.
On 3rd down, here's Mills.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Darius Slay with a pick.
And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football.
Well, down 2 scores in the 4th quarter. It maybe wasn't quite desperation time, but it was getting close. And that interception there on the deep ball, that probably slams the door on their chances.
And maybe that was the thought process, that it wasn't quite desperation time. So now you take the shot before they're going to lay back any farther on defense. Go ahead and throw it downfield. Unfortunately, it didn't work.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession.
They have to like the position that they are in. 4th quarter, 2-score lead, and now the ball back after the INT.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
They'll get 4 on 2nd down, but it leaves them with 3rd and still 9 to go.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
This is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here.
Hurts sets up to throw it. To the sideline, he's got the catch, and he kept the feet in bounds. Well done.
So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They'll run with Sanders. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts. That'll be their 2nd, so 1 more chance to stop the clock here. And we'll be back. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends.
Unlock line! Unlock line!
Once again with Sanders. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Miles Sanders taking it in from 4 yards out.
And the Eagles have put this one to bed here in the 4th quarter.
Elliott good with a PAT. And the lead is up to 18 now. 5 plays there on that drive. And it was Miles Sanders who finished it off with a touchdown run.
Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback. And the Texans set to come onto the field.
Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Mills. His throw incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced.
And Mills is intercepted for the 3rd time.
Darius Slay with a pick. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD.
I suppose it wasn't out of the realm of possibility that we could have seen a comeback, but that touchdown should put any hopes of a comeback out of reach. It's been a really quality effort for him here in this one.
And no matter what else you think, you have to admire the initiative to finish things off their way. Don't leave anything to chance, no matter how small the odds of a comeback were. Send it home with a touchdown and get to celebrating.
Elliott on for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Jake Elliott kicking off for Philadelphia.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6, and now the kick is away.
And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. Houston set to take over. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because...
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD.
But not much defensive resistance on that drive. And really, Charles, the way this offense has been humming, they haven't faced much defensive resistance the entire game.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that one team, their defense did not wake up and make it to the stadium for this one. There may be some major changes on that side of the ball when we see them the next time out.
Elliott now to add the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick-6.
Jake Elliott kicking off for Philadelphia.
So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback.
And now out comes Houston.
Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is in the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, and with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Escaping the pressure right. And my goodness, another interception. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick.
And the Eagles are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50.
Well, let's face it, Brandon, they're down here in the second half. Want to try and make something happen, and if you're the guy with the ball in your hands, you're going to try even harder, because I think all he was trying to do was to get outside the pocket and see if he can find a big play downfield.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Well, they don't need to score here, that's for sure. They could just kneel it. They've got the huge lead late fourth quarter, but we'll see how they're feeling, Charles.
Yeah, we all know people out there who like to use every second of the clock, no matter what the score. And we know they don't need the points. They've scored in abundance already. Let's find out how they want to finish this ball game.
Here we go.
The Eagles in the victory formation as they take a knee.
Well, partner, under the lights in primetime, this offense, they gave the nation quite a show, putting up that many points to come away with what will certainly be a memorable win for them.
And, Brandon, I think it's as simple as this. Some players, some teams, they're just meant for the big stage. And when they get a chance to play in this type of atmosphere where all eyes are on them and all the lights are shining brightly, they show up and they show out.